So most of the time, NBA superstars are good right from the get-go, but that is not always the case. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 NBA superstars that were terrible as rookies. At the point guard position, we have got Steve Nash. Steve Nash retired a couple of years ago, and up until the 2012-2013 season was pretty much an all-star level player. He won 2 MVPs with the Phoenix Suns, and he was actually a rookie with the Suns and wasn't great. Even though he was picked with the 15th overall pick in the draft, he didn't play much as a rookie. He was playing behind Jason Kidd, and he was also playing behind Kevin Johnson. He barely played and only averaged 3.3 points and 2.1 assists per game, while shooting just 42% from the floor. Nash didn't have a great first few seasons in the NBA, and in the first 4 seasons had averages of 7.2 points per game and 3.8 assists per game, while playing barely over 20 minutes per game. It's hard to believe that this guy became a 2-time MVP and one of the best point guards of all time. But he did. Steve Nash was a superstar in the NBA, leading the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns team, and who knows, if it wasn't for that busted nose in the 2007 playoffs, they could have beaten the San Antonio Spurs, and we could be looking at Steve Nash in a different light if he had won a title, definitely as one of the best point guards of all time. At the shooting guard position, I was going to put Kobe Bryant, because he didn't have the best rookie year, but to be honest, he was 18 years old at the time, so I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass, and he always showed the potential. Even though obviously stats-wise it wasn't the greatest and he didn't shoot well, he was still really young, so I'm going to give him a pass. But at the 2, we have James Harden. Even though he was the 3rd overall pick in the 2009 NBA draft, he wasn't able to get major minutes in his first year with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He only played 22.9 minutes per game. Even though he did score 9.9 points per game, which is not bad, to be honest. That's not bad at all. He was just shooting 40.3% from the field, which is very poor. After 3 seasons with the Oklahoma City Thunder and 1 6th Man of the Year, James Harden definitely showed glimpses of what he could become, but no one expected him to be as good as he became once he left the Oklahoma City Thunder. James Harden became a superstar as soon as he joined the Houston Rockets and was given his own team. From a 6-man role, he became the face of the franchise, leading the Rockets to the playoffs in his first year and finishing runner-up for the MVP twice. I personally think he should have won it this year, but that's just my opinion. But never did I think from watching James Harden in his first 2 or 3 years for the Oklahoma City Thunder that he was going to be a superstar. And definitely I didn't think he was going to be an MVP candidate. But he seems to have proven people wrong, and who knows, he could win an MVP in the near future. At the 3, we have got Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was drafted by the Chicago Bulls in 2011 with the 30th overall pick. The 2011-12 Chicago Bulls had aspirations of winning a title, and if it wasn't for Derrick Rose tearing his ACL, who knows, they might have competed for an NBA championship that year. But after the injury, they lost to the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round. But Jimmy Butler only played 8.5 minutes per game, and only averaged 2.6 points and 1.3 rebounds per game. He got a lot more minutes in his second season and established himself as a valuable part of the Bulls and as a great defender, a lot of the time having to defend LeBron James. But nobody expected a breakout offensively like Jimmy Butler had. Jimmy Butler in the 2014-15 season averaged over 20 points per game and made an all-star team. While Butler was always an elite defender, no one expected this type of offensive output from the guy who could possibly lead the Minnesota Timberwolves back into relevancy. They could be a contender in future years, especially if Jimmy Butler plays both ends of the floor like he did in Chicago. At the 4, we have got Dirk Nowitzki, or as he was referred to in his rookie season, Irk Nowitzki, because fans said if there was no D in his game, then there should be no D in his name. During his first year, Dirk only scored 8.2 points per game and only got 3.4 rebounds per game, all while shooting 40.5% from the floor and 20% from 3. Yes, Dirk Nowitzki, the greatest shooting big man of all time, shooting 20% from 3. Dirk has become a future Hall of Famer. Dirk is an MVP. Dirk is a champion. Dirk is arguably the 2nd best power forward of all time and is probably either him or Hakeem Olajuwon the greatest international player of all time. I know Dirk was young in his rookie year, but I don't think anyone expected him to be up with the all-time greats after an extremely poor rookie season. And at the 5, we have got DeMarcus Cousins. It's actually a rarity that a big man that does extremely badly in their first year in the league ends up being a star. A lot of the time when a big man does badly, it's straight up because they're not good enough. Not because they need any more experience. Normally it's because just straight up they're not good enough. But the thing with DeMarcus Cousins While he put up good stats, 14.1 points per game and 8.6 rebounds per game. Them stats make it look like he did extremely well in his rookie year, but he actually only shot 43% from the field. Yes, 43% for a post player. He led the league in personal fouls with 332, and he only played 28.5 minutes per game. So he was fouling at a much higher rate than any other player. And the thing is that the Kings were a much better team with Boogie off the floor. They scored 7 less points per 100 possessions when he was on the floor. And now DeMarcus Cousins is easily a top 5 center in basketball, and an argument can be made that he is number 1. He is without doubt the best offensive center. He's the most dominant center in the game. He's now a 3-time All-Star, and to be honest, can consistently get you 25 points and about 12 rebounds a night, and he'll probably do that for the next, I'd say, 5 or 6 years at least. So anyway, that's the video. These are just 5 players that became superstars after having poor rookie seasons. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.